Hello, Cancer. Welcome to the Black-Hearted Oracle. Before we get started, I'd like to give homage and reverence to Mother Sustainer, Father Creator, and of course my beautiful ancestors. Now, this is part 2 of your 4-part video series. This is dealing with soul guidance. Okay, so let's get started. The first message you have is endurance, and it's keep going. The next message is Bat, number 42, and it's face your greatest fears, face the darkness before rebirth, transition, rebirth, end of the way of life, start a new one. The next message is Armadillo, and it's number 28, and it says, guard your personal space, defend your space, protect yourself, boundaries, protection, and empathy. It says trouble saying no, adjust rhythm and senses, and it says taken for granted. The next message that you have is rain, and it's purification. And it says, purify your mind, body, and spirit is the task that is set before you. Purify your mind by identifying a prominent belief you carry about yourself that inhibits you from being fully engaged in life, from showing up 100% of the time. Purify your heart by allowing yourself to breathe in and out blessings and forgiveness so that you can love even more deeply. Let yourself feel your grief, truly feel it, so that the river of your tears become miniature baptisms that help heal the wounds in your soul. If necessary, detoxify your body, the temple, and the seat of the soul by changing your diet, doing a cleanse for a few days, or simply drinking more water. Increase the daily amount of water you drink with deep appreciation for its purpose will revitalize your spirit. It is no wonder that in some indigenous languages, water is called lifeblood, as it is so essential to every form of life on earth. Take time to purify yourself. Give me 1 second, let me close my door, please. Sorry about that. Okay, the next message that you have is Serenity, and it's number 15, and it's Divine Light. And it says, in Divine Light, you overflow with love. You carry the sacred arrows that teach you about the clouds so full of water that the rain comes like droplets of wisdom into your sea of consciousness. And you begin to learn. The sacred flute carries your prayers of love and all the symbols of treasured peoples. The dreams reflect upon you with the light of the great sun. You are a sacred lover full of fragrance, and the wind comes to spread your perfume across the land. You stand before the Great Spirit in a state of grace. Name your darkness, that sad quality that you have held. And as you call it by name, feel it begin to disappear. You hold on to your faith the same way that you grip your arrows of destiny. You are not meant to live in darkness, but in the light of your own integrity. Move with the flow of life and let go of any sadness from your earlier years. Be serene and at ease as light begins to define you. The next message you have is Bountiful Nature, and it says spending time in nature helps shift you to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet, meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. The next messages that you have are Page of Water. It says intuitive, sensitive, artistic, friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. And then you have a 5 of Earth. And it says fear surrounding money. The wisdom to accept help from others. Uncertain self-employment. The last message that you have is 22. And it's sleeping and refusing to awaken. It says my people are sleeping and refuse to awaken. Drunken and happily fed, always on the hunt for their daily bread, having no time for true wealth, the knowledge of self, abundant in things while spiritually poor. Their eyes are fat, but their soul is desperately yearning for more. My people are sleeping and refuse to awaken. Now, as you can see, Cancer, it seems like you're going through a lot right now. And your soul is crying out to you that it's time to detox. It's time to purify and cleanse these things. You know, it's time to wake up to who you truly are. Because you can only feel these five of pentacle energies when you're looking outside of yourself for the things that you desire and deserve. But if you can reconnect with nature, this will allow you to see how abundant nature is and how it gives so easily with just a little bit of effort. Because it seems like whatever pain that you've been going through, you've been carrying it for very long. And it seems like you're also thinking that the darkness is just you. But really and truly, it's time to face this darkness. If we don't look at the darkness within ourselves, there's no way that we can bring it to light. So you have to face your fears. If opening up emotionally is a fear of yours, then what you have to do is you're desperately going to need to do this purification for yourself. You know, and while you're going through this, you're going to need the endurance. Okay? Because someone is overstepping their boundaries with you. You know, and it seems like you're being taken for granted and all they're offering you is a tiny apology or a tiny token of love. But it really leaves you feeling left out in the cold. So it's time to find your serenity and go through some form of emotional purification. And you have to face your fears while doing this. It's time to wake up. The next message that we have is Pink Lotus Fairy, and we have the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. 43. It says, a time for spirit. You may love your guilt-free rants, staying up too late and happily behaving badly. But you are about to balance all that out with some very powerful new spiritual teachings and connections. You are to meet a wise one who seems very still, very slow, and very peaceful. She will be tranquil and serene and immersed in a path that until now has felt too slow or foreign for you. This teacher will assist you in finding more of your soul's true wisdom. Within this time of inner discovery, you will commit to disciplined new training in the mental realms. Choose thoughts that are empowering and enlivening, yet completely authentic and real. You will learn to be still and to listen to that beat of your heart without giving in to restlessness or the critical voice inside. After you have learned more discipline through peaceful practice of meditation or exercise or mantras, you will nurture yourself more willingly without guilt, and you will have returned to a place of tranquility, self-love, and peace. Go within, look deeply into your heart, and find the love that overflows in its secret, quiet places. Your love is rich and warm and flowing still, and it is time for you to renew your connection to Source via the teachings you will be introduced to soon. Spiritual quest, calm, relaxed, yoga, self-love, and self-acceptance. Your third eye and crown chakra activation, chakra awakening, connection to all, crown chakra connected to the universe, receiving universal love messages, self-connected peacefully to the earth, peaceful flowing energy in the body. Know that while this path and tranquil, easeful philosophy may seem out of character for you, it is a deep and true part of yourself that has long yearned for acknowledgement, fulfillment, and the nirvana that is on its way. So again, Cancer, I always think that this right here is your own personal passion, but I can't see that within this context of your reading. To me, this is the more sexual passions that has left you feeling backstabbed and just betrayed and in a lack. Like a Five of Pentacles is being left out in the cold when all you were looking for was the stability of a household. But what's here for you is healing. You know, for you to purify your internal by taking a good long look at yourself and facing your deepest fears. You know, connect with nature in order to help you do this, so that you can get over these Five of Pentacles, because you received them twice. You know, forgive yourself for whatever has caused you to end up feeling backstabbed and betrayed and left out in the cold. And find your serenity, you know, because you are being taken for granted, but you have endurance, and all it requires is that you wake up to the inner voice that is there calling out to you. Now, the next set of messages is Death and the Maiden. And we have the Knight with the Temperance, the Six with the Eight of Staffs in reverse, Hierophant in reverse. Okay. So Death and the Maiden, number 28. And it says, invasion, boundaries violated, dominance. It says, I am full of needs. I am hungry for life force. I will simply take from her that which I want. Her warmth, her energy, her emotions, and her beauty. What I want, I will take. And I love her too, very much. So much I may just consume her entirely. I thought this was love, but now I can see and feel that this is invasive, that this no longer feels right. There is a very out of balance relationship between you and another at this time. It may be that you are death, taking too much and imposing on another. Or it may be that you are the maiden. Have no defense against another who is draining you, claiming all the while to love you. You may have been drawn into drama and color and entertainment of the relationship that is full of highs and lows and passion. But you are now discovering that this is tiring, draining, and lacking in respect. Do not attempt to convince death of its problem. Those real people will only draw closer, clinging harder, and convince you that you have a problem, not them. Ask yourself, is this relationship healthy for me? If the answer is no, then you must take steps to go. Exactly. I mean, if you look at this, like, I'll get back to the Knight of Cups and the Temperance card, right? But if you look at the Death and the Maiden with the Six of Pentacles, you know, it's taking, this person right here is always the one who seems more in need. But who they're giving to is the one who already is not that bad off. And as you can see, there's 3 pentacles above this person's head, and they're also getting 3 pentacles. But you're stuck in a 2 of Pentacles. And the scales over your head should be balanced, but it's not being given to you. The opportunity is here. You know, and you've been left out in the cold, right? Twice you received the 5 of Pentacles. So not only is this person draining you, but they're totally depleting you of everything that you need. You know, they're draining you, and they're taking everything that you need to get to this happy place. You're unable to. They're robbing you of your serenity. They're robbing you of your peace. And all they're doing is backstabbing and betraying you, right? Because the Hierophant is reversed. So this is not a stable commitment. You know, you're always in a means of having an offer not being taken. Because there's always a third party situation going on here. And it's hidden. What's hidden is how deceptive and draining this person is, even though you're feeling this kind of way, you know, even though you're feeling this way. It says sleeping and refusing to awaken. You're not realizing that you need to purify this situation. You need to get rid of it. You know, the darkness. You need to look at the darkness. And And you also, it's a armadillo. It speaks about guard your personal space and being taken for granted. And you have a trouble saying no to this person because you're feeling like it's love, but really it's not. It's an unequal give and take. You're being left out in the cold. No messages of love are being given to you. This relationship is unstable. But you need to offer the cup of love to yourself so that you can find the balance that comes when you reconnect with spirit. This is so sad. Gosh. Cancers, I really feel it for you. I am so sorry that you're going through these things. If this reading resonates for you, because I know it's pretty heavy. I feel it. The next one that you have is Faith. 5 of Cups. The Queen of Cups. The 7 of Swords. And the 3 of Cups. Okay, let's do Faith. It says, we are all wounded. Some wounds are recognized easily, while others are not. Forge ahead and do not allow your pain to hold you back. You are meant to inspire others, and if you do not carry on, they will suffer. It is time to deliver your message. Exactly. You're going to have to endure. Because when we go through these rough times, what happens is that we get so broken. And when we have the strength to rebuild ourselves, we're ever so much stronger and wiser for it. So go through this, and Serenity spoke of the darkness that you held onto, that you should call it by its name so that you can free it. Okay, it says, I am more than I think I am. What frightens you is something much smaller than you know. If you are experiencing pain, holding on tighter will only worsen the situation. Your greatness awaits. I have tremendous amount of personal magnetism, and I am willing to allow myself to shine. Narrow focus, miracles all around, not following wise counsel, not accepting your gifts, using energy in a self-defeating way. Gifts, muse, and fear. Exactly. See, this is in reverse. So these are the things that you're not doing. You're not holding on to your faith. And this card also spoke of your faith. Right now you're crying over spilled milk about this third-party romance that has gone awry. But what needs to happen is this cup of love that you're trying to offer needs to not be offered. It needs to be your cup that you keep for yourself. You cannot give out of your emptiness, because your cup has been spilled over. And what has happened is if this is was you being sneaky and having these third-party relationships, what you thought you were getting away with was really your own heartbreak and indecision. So your indecision is going to lead to your heartbreak. Because whoever is in this third-party relationship, they're moving on. You see this boat in this background? Well, it looks like a boat. But, okay. They're moving on, and as you should too. Because you're in desperate need of healing. I mean, your whole reading is speaking of how much healing you're in need of. And you need to reestablish your faith. The next one was Victim, 6 of Cups, and 6 of Swords. It says, to grow into a tree, a planted acorn must be fully brown. A green acorn is an indication that you may need grounding and a more solid plan to achieve what you truly desire. Are you trying to create something before you are ready to do so? It says, I am not a victim. I choose to do what I am doing. A green acorn indicates that being in denial may be holding you back. To move forward, you must take an honest assessment of your situation. How are my actions connected with my inability to create breakthroughs? Am I willing to make a new choice in order to grow? Feeling blocked, blaming others, past resentment, deluding yourself, potential for greatness, growth, breakthrough, and empowerment. Exactly. Serenity also spoke about past issues. Where is the card? Okay, yeah, sorry. Of having issues from your childhood that have not been resolved and dealt with. So maybe you were victimized as a child in whatever way. But as adults, we all have to come to terms with the things that have happened to us in our childhood. You know, we can't keep a wounded inner child because out of that creates the havoc. You know, it creates nothing but havoc. It creates 5 of Cups energies. It creates the 7 of Cups energies. You know, it creates eventually us feeling left out in the cold. So it's time now for you to purify these thoughts. It's time for you to let go of this wounded inner child that is viewing you as a victim. It's time to move to calmer waters where your serenity will be your divine guiding light. Now your last set of messages were a lot, so let's just run through them. And it was Vanity, the 8 of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Devil. Pretty, yeah, right? Okay. It says, the tenacious balance between what is true in our heart and what we communicate is reflected in Aqua. Are you living and communicating your truth or just playing a role? This may be a time to awaken to a new way of being. Be aware of distractions that may pull you away from the true you. I need more, better, bigger. Yes, that will make me okay. We all say we will stop when we have enough, but there's never enough. You may be looking outside yourself for validation. Am I feeling disconnected from any people in my life? Am I growing away from limiting relationships? Environmental tensions, including living in illusions, self-doubt, power to change, lesser companions, empty conversations, faith, awareness, and transformation. Exactly. Are you listening to the internal guides and living your truth, or due to this vanity, you're acting out in these devilish ways? You know, are you willing to stand in your truth? Or is what tastes good, feels good, smells good, and look good just too enticing for you? It's time. It's just time. Like, you're not going to get anywhere with these devil energies. Like, if you think that by having multiple partners and being, well, I mean, it's not about really having the multiple partners. What it is about is being dishonest about having multiple partners. So, you know, if you think that that's what it's going to be, it only leads you here. You can't get sweet from bitter. Like, you just can't. You can't get good from bad. Like, it's just not. Like, when something is rotten, it's just rotten. But you need to move away from all these devil energies that has you in a state of just turmoil and torment, it seems. You know, be truthful and honest with yourself. I keep not remembering to look up this quote, but it says, for as many years as we have lived in lies, we must seek to live in truth. Mysticism. And it's Page of Pentacles and the Fool. It says, this is a time of trusting in the unknown. You already sense the answer, even if it's not apparent. Do not ask others what they see, for you alone can see into the heart of the matter. Trust your intuition, your intuitive powers to guide you. You are not to know. It is wise to be the observer. Do not respond until you are certain. The unknown is not easy, but it is no longer necessary to fear. Am I ignoring my intuition? What I suspect is probably true. I must breathe. Ignoring signs, unknown motivation, intuitive knowing, fear of the unknown, journey, intuition, courage, uncharted. Exactly, Cancer. It's time for you to face the truth. It's time to move out of the troubled waters and into calmer waters. You know, it's time to face your fears. Because the opportunity, it's small, but what it is, it still is tangible. It's something that you can hold and that you can grow into something much greater for yourself. But you're going to have to trust. You're going to have the faith to trust in it and the endurance to keep going, even when you don't know. Even when you don't know. You're going to find balance within this new path. But you have to stand with your sword of truth. The next message is release. And you have the Two of Wands. Yeah. And you have the Four of Pentacles. And with the Four of Pentacles, you had the High Priestess and the Six of Swords. And on this side, you had the Moon, the Chariot, the Death, the Three of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. So let's go to release. And it says, see all that you are, for you possess a power that you have yet to understand. This may feel daunting, but great freedom awaits you as you meet your shadow self. Profound inner wisdom is coming to you. Stand steady. You are more than you know. It says, I can no longer keep your secrets. Powerful. Okay, this is about personal responsibility and release of blame. It is time to clear the debris and move on. You cannot move forward while you continue to hide. This indicates healing family of origin issues. Am I ready to face my past and let go? Release dwelling on past, righteous anger, change in consciousness, judgment day, seeing clearly, hidden truth, great discovery, healing, remissions, and integration. So as we've been saying all along, as it has been saying over and over again, you need to release that negative self-talk that you've been having with yourself. You know, that negative voice within you that keeps telling you like you're not good enough or you need something outside of yourself to be good enough. It's time to move away from that. You know, it's really, really time to move away from that. Anything that has, from your childhood, that makes you feel as though you are a victim, it's time to release that. Because you're holding on so tightly. You're holding on so tightly to this. And you're holding these secrets in, but it's only destroying you. So it's time to clear out what is inside, the darkness. It's time to clear it away. It's time to move to calmer waters for yourself. You don't have to tell anybody that you're going through this. I mean, but I don't see how anyone could not know, because boy, with these cards, it seems like this would be quite evident to anyone who ever looked deeply into your eyes. Now, again, what else needs to be released? The hidden things, the secrecies. Because Cancer, your card is here. It's time for you to put an end to all these deep, dark things inside of you that is keeping you into the devil energies. You know? Yeah, anything that's keeping you here, it's time to get rid of them. Anything that's keeping you into these low vibrational energies, it's time to put an end to all of it. Purify yourself with the rain. Like, your message is just over and over again the same thing. It's time for the new dawn, for you to pick up your cup of love and keep it totally for you, like the Queen of Cups would. Yeah, like she would with her own cup that belongs to her. Because through this healing and her faith and her endurance, she's willing. But it's time to get rid of whoever has caused this hurt. It's time for a new start, for you to pick up these passions and take advantage of this opportunity that is here for you by finding balance within yourself and holding your sword of truth. And knowing that whatever you need is within inside you, even if you don't believe it for yourself. Now, Cancer, I so thank you so much for coming to the Black-Hearted Oracle. I really hope that you can take something away from this reading that will help you, because it seems to me that you're going through a lot. And it seems a lot of childhood trauma and a lot of internal trauma that you're dealing with, and you're not really processing it. Now, I hope this message found you well. I pray that you find your higher self in the quiet places. And I pray that Ma'at will hold you in her loving grace. Ashe, Cancer.